So today we're going to focus on the idea of standing postures. And I know that some of you may have some issues with standing either for short periods or long periods, and that's fine. Most of the poses we're going to do, you can do as a seated alternative, or you can do with just the upper body movements. So I'll be reminding you about that. But standing is really, really, really critical. I mean, we get into some very bad habits over the years with our posture, with not standing up straight. And not only does it not feel good in your body, it can lead to problems with the neck, with the back. It can prevent you from breathing properly and even interfere with your digestion. So I'll be reminding you, we'll be going over the idea of what it means to have a neutral pelvis. We want to always work on an awareness as we're doing the poses of the muscles that need to work to support our bones, our spine, our legs, our shoulders, and also having a feeling of ease so that you can move with some grace. All right, so I'm going to go to my seat and we'll begin. So even though we're not standing right now, imagine that your feet are still building part of the foundation for your pose, allowing them to be flat on the floor, rolling your shoulders up and back and down, go in one direction and the other. Just letting yourself, this is the time when we settle in, when we put everything else aside. Our concerns about what may have happened earlier in the day or what we may tackle when this class is over, letting it be sufficient just to be totally present to this hour of practice. Allowing your eyes to close if that feels comfortable, or looking towards the floor so you can direct your attention to what's going on inside. With the body, with the breath, with your thoughts and emotions. And just noticing how the breath is showing up this morning, if it's deep or shallow, whether it feels effortless or a little bit of a struggle. And noticing which parts of your body feel open to the breath and which might feel closed off. Create as much softness as you need to so that the whole body can breathe. Inviting that breath to become a little bit deeper now so that we move into the three-part breath. The breath beginning deep down in the abdomen, filling the chest all the way to the shoulders, and then exhaling shoulders, chest, and belly. At the end of each exhale, drawing the belly back a little bit towards the spine to engage those core muscles. Notice where your thoughts go and keep inviting them back to the breath and to the moment. Let's take one more complete breath here. Letting it go with a sigh. Taking a moment to notice how you feel. And we'll bring our centering to close by bringing hands to heart center and uniting our voices in the sound of Om. Deep breath in. Om. Om Shanti, peace. May we all know peace. So opening your eyes, let's move into some sun breaths, breathing the arms up, head looks up. Exhaling, arms come down, chin drops to the chest. Just beginning to wake up the body, wake up the breath. Shaking off any remaining sleepiness or stiffness. Breathing in and breathing out. Once more, this time when you breathe in, move into seated mountain. And we'll build our pose from the ground up. Feet are firmly planted on the ground, sit bones grounded on your chair, shoulders relaxed, fingertips lifted. Find your breath. Letting the sensation build in your arms, your shoulders. Great. Bringing hands to prayer position and drawing them back in front of your heart in preparation for some sun salutations. So let's inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, reach back, little back bend. Good. Inhale to mountain. Exhale, fold forward, letting go of all the breath. Palms to the knees as you come up halfway and breathe in. Exhale and fold. Inhale, sweep those arms up and reach it back, back to mountain and back to your heart. Let's do one more of those. Inhale and exhale, reach it back. Think about lengthening your spine, not just bending back. Breathe into mountain, exhale, fold it forward. Palms to the knees, come up halfway, exhale and fold. Inhale, arms sweep up. Reach it back, let the breath go. Breathing into mountain and exhaling back to the heart, where you pause and take a couple of breaths. Good. So just a reminder, sun salutations are a great way to start the day. Even if you don't have a lot of time to practice, just doing, 2 or 3 or 4 of those give you a good start in the day. So let's take a walk. I'm going to pump my arms. You don't have to do that. I like the sensation of the floor under my feet. I'm going to add a little challenge here, bringing the knee up to meet the elbow, opposite sides. Here we go. Really important to breathe out when you draw that knee up. Exhaling through the lips. And the next time that right knee comes up, let's lift it up a little higher. So even if the foot comes up a little bit, that's fine. You can hold on behind the thigh or below the knee. Shoulders relax. Breathing in deeply. Let's circle the ankle. Circle one way. And the other way. Maybe you can draw that knee up a little bit higher. Good. So I'm going to stretch that leg out in front now. Know that you can use your tie under the sole of your foot, or you can just hold on behind the thigh. Or if you want to challenge yourself, just release your grasp and just let the leg hang out in space all by itself. Ever notice how heavy your leg was? Yeah. Let's go into the figure 4 stretch. Crossing ankles or knees or a foot up on top of the thigh. So taking a minute to look down, making sure your left foot is directly under your ankle, under your knee, not off to the side. You want it straight up and down. So let's press down on the knee. Gently pull up on the foot and maybe lean into it for a little more sensation. Remember, this is your practice. It's not going to look like anybody else's. Give yourself permission to take care of yourself. One more breath here. Exhale completely. And bring your torso up. Uncross your leg. Take a couple of breaths before we go to the other side. Okay. So marching a little further. Arms can be at rest, or they can walk alongside you. Or you can bring your knee up to opposite elbow. Remember, the knee is coming up to the elbow, not the elbow down to the knee. That way those core muscles get worked. And the next time the left knee comes up, let's support it either with the thigh or with our hands. Taking a minute to grow tall in your seat. And let's circle that ankle. Nice lazy circles. Other direction. Okay, let's stretch that leg out now. Stretch it out. Again, using whatever support you need. Thigh or hands behind the thigh. Or just letting the leg go on its own. Sitting up tall, making those core muscles work, keeping with your breath. And ready for the figure 4 stretch on this side? Yes, please. So choosing whatever variation of placement of the foot works for you, I'm going to let my foot rest on top of my right thigh. Gently press down on the knee, up on the foot, reading the level of sensation in that hip that's just right, and leaning into it because I want a little bit of a deeper stretch. Sigh out the breath. You can shake your head, no, or yes. One more breath here. And then let's inhale and come all the way up. Mindfully uncross whatever is crossed and take a couple of breaths. Good. So let's come up to standing, and we're going to come up through chair pose. So I'm going to move my feet back so that the heels begin to lift. The minute you begin to stand, the heels will want to drop down. Let them do that. Okay, so your feet should be about hip width apart, hands at your hips to begin. And take a minute just to inhale and exhale and engage those core muscles. Inhale, exhale, engage the core. Good. And this time, inhale, exhale, engage the core, stand part way up. So remember, the shoulders are back, the knees are partially bent. You can extend the arms in front of you, or you can lift them overhead. This is the most challenging, so whatever works for you. One more breath here. Inhale, exhale, lower the hands, and come up to standing. Ooh, and I'm just going to jiggle my legs. So let's talk a little bit about what I mean when I say neutral pelvis. I'm going to turn sideways so you know what I'm talking about. As you're looking, and this is great, if you have a full-length mirror at home, you can kind of check yourself out, or if you have somebody who can, you know, cast an eye on the way you're standing, they can help you. So what you're hoping to do is line up your ear, your shoulder, your hip, and your knees. So obviously, if you're rounding your spine, they're not going to be in alignment. And the other problem with that is you see all the constriction that's happening in the area of the chest where the breath is. Makes it very, very difficult to take a deep breath. Also makes it difficult to move your arms. So, if you're just playing around with this and rounding your spine, it's really hard to lift your arms overhead. So we're designed to move as one piece. So let's talk about the pelvis. So the pelvis is like a bowl, and it can tip forward and back. So take one hand, place it on your lower abdomen, and the other hand and place it right on your sacrum. And now we're just going to push into the front. So the pelvic bowl tilts down in the back, and then press into the back, pelvic bowl tilts down in the front. So just let that movement, knees are soft as you're doing this. So this is pretty much like the cat and the dog tilt we do in the 6 movements. So just notice what's happening. Knees are soft. All right, so gradually bring that to stillness, finding a point that's neither tilting back or tilting forward. So if there were water in the pelvic bowl, the level would be nice and smooth. Soften your knees, relax your hands, palms facing forward. Lift from the crown of your head, which is right up here. Make sure you're breathing. Good. And relax. So even if you do nothing between this week and next week, but practice that alignment, if you practice it every day, it will really, really help your posture, and it will help you breathe better. So we're going to do some sun breaths standing. And remember, just a reminder, if any of these poses are too challenging for you standing, you can always do them seated. So we're going to build our foundation from the ground up. Feet pressing flat into the floor, knees are soft, lengthen up out of your waist, dropping your shoulders. So we're going to do those sun breaths. Inhale, lifting the arms up, and exhale, bringing them down. So if you want, you can lift your chin as you breathe in and drop your chin to your chest as you breathe out. So I'm going to turn sideways. When you breathe in, notice if you jut your buttocks back. So you want to keep the tailbone tucked. And then exhale, bring it down. Inhale, arms come up, keep the tailbone tucked. Exhale, bring it down. And once more, breathing the arms up. Let's come into full mountain pose. So we're lifting up through the fingers, relaxing the shoulders, breathing fully, belly, chest, and shoulders. Good. One more breath here. Lift those fingertips a little higher. Continue to press down into your feet. And then exhale, lower the arms. And take a breath. Good. So I'm going to come to the back of my chair. And we're going to work on the Half Moon series. As I mentioned, if standing and doing these poses are too difficult for you, you can sit, or you can just use one arm. I'm going to come to the back of the chair. Good. So making sure your feet are hip width apart. Breathe the arms up. Lengthen up through your fingertips. Good. Tuck your tailbone. Bring your palms together. Breathe in and exhale to the right. So allow the left hip to move out to the side as you do that. Equal weight on both feet. Inhale up through center. Exhale to the left. Inhale up, and now we're going to reach back. You can either reach back with both hands, or if that feels like too much of a challenge, you can hold onto the chair with one hand and reach back. And breathe it up to center. Good. Let's do that one more time. Breathe in, lengthen up, arch to the right. Breathe in and lengthen, and arch to the left. Breathe in and lengthen and reach it back. Breathe it back to mountain and let it go. Just take a couple of breaths. Good. So we're going to do our elbow press here. And again, you can be seated. I'm just going to stand at the side of my chair so you can see what I'm doing better. You can hold on with one hand behind the chair if you like, or just let your hand be free. So I'm going to start with my left arm and reach it up. Reach for the ceiling. Good. And then bend that elbow and cradle it with the right palm. Now, when you did this, notice if the tailbone jutted back, you want to tuck it under. Keep that neutral pelvis. Your lower back will thank you. Good. And breathe. And 2. And 3. Good. And let it go. Take a breath. And we'll go to the other side. Right arm reaches up. Again, you can be holding on to the back of the chair. And let's bend the elbow, cradle it with the left palm. Good. And breathe. Nice full breaths. Belly, chest, and shoulders. Tuck your tailbone under slightly. Great. One more breath. And let it go. And then either holding on with one hand or bringing your hands to your hips, separate your feet a little bit wider. And let's just circle the hips. So knees have got to be soft here to allow free movement in the hips. And other direction. Great. And bring that to stillness. So we've done breath of joy. We've done it seated. Remember, it's the breath in, the breath in, the breath in, and then a forward fold. So you can do this. I invite you to try it standing if you feel secure. However, if you would like to try it seated, that's also fine. I'm going to stand. I'm going to separate my feet a little wider apart. I'm going to breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, and let it go and sweep the floor. Ha! So if you don't come all the way down to the floor, that's fine. Breathe it in, let it go. Ha! Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, let go. Ha! Good. One more time. Ha! Let it go. And one more time for good measure. And then just allow yourself to hang down like a rag doll. Hand can come to the chair, or you can just hang down, relax. If you have the flexibility, you can grab opposite elbows and just kind of sway from side to side. Good. Inhale, let's roll all the way up, tucking your tailbone one vertebrae at a time. And come into good standing alignment, pressing into the feet, softening the knees, tucking the tailbone, lengthening from your waist, lifting through the crown. Feel free to breathe deeply. Good, and take all that energy in. Great. All right. So let's work on some balance poses. You can stand to the side of your chair if you like. And I'm going to be starting with the right leg. So let's just shift the weight to the right leg, always keeping that knee a little bit soft. and beginning to lift the left foot. A little bit at a time, holding on, using your tie, whatever feels good. And breathe. Again, you can let go of the chair if you like, if you want to just challenge yourself with a little balance here. I find I'm working on carpeting, which I really don't like for balance. I like a nice solid wood floor. Good. So let's step out. Getting ready for triangle pose. Knees are both soft. Right knee turns towards the chair, left foot turns in slightly, and reach up with your left arm. And arch to the side. You don't need the right arm for balance. Release it to the leg. And breathe. Great, putting a lot of energy in that left arm now. Let's come all the way up. Drop the arm down. Nice counter stretch. Good. And let's set up for straight-legged runner stretch. So I'm going to turn my left foot so it's facing the chair. And I'm going to hinge right at the hips. So think about lengthening from your crown to your tailbone. So you're reaching out. Hands can come to the seat of the chair. Or if your balance is good, you can drop them down to the floor or bring them behind you. Either way, it's all good. And breathe. Nice big stretch in the hamstrings. Inhale, come all the way up. And step your feet together. So again, shifting your weight to the leg closest to the chair. Begin to bend your left knee. So this is going to give you a stretch in the front of the leg. The more you draw the thigh back in alignment with the other thigh, the deeper the stretch you'll get. If you can manage to grab your foot, that's fine. Again, soft knee. Just a nice stretch. You can begin to lean forward if that feels safe and comfortable, or not. And inhale, come on up. Release that foot. Let's take a couple of breaths. Great, and come on over to the other side. And we'll do all of that on the other side. So shifting your weight to the foot closest to the chair, which is your left foot. Again, with balance, I really don't like working on carpeting because there's too much play. Nice solid floor is the best. Center your weight over the big toe and begin to release your right foot, bringing it up, holding on wherever is comfortable. Even if you could just bring the knee up a little bit. And you can do this seated as well. And breathe. Resist the urge to lock that supporting leg. Keep it soft. Great, and let's set up for triangles. So I'm going to separate my feet, comfortable distance. Left foot turns towards the chair, right foot turns in slightly. Right arm reaches up. Extend right through the side body. And reach. Releasing the hand if you don't need it for balance. And breathe. Good, let's release that and go into our counter stretch. Left arm reaches up and over. and let it go. So let's get ready for straight-legged runner stretch. I'm going to turn my right foot facing the chair. Square the hips so they're both facing the chair. Again, as you exhale, extend, extend, extend. Don't worry about how far you bend. Think about extending. Hands can come wherever they're comfortable, to the floor, to the chair, behind your back. Head is relaxed. Let's do one more breath here. And then on an in-breath, bring yourself back up. And step your feet together. So again, shifting the weight to the left leg, softening the knee, bending the right knee. So when I'm standing sideways, you can see what I mean. So if you bend the knee and the thigh comes forward, you're not going to feel a deep stretch across the front of the leg. But if you begin to draw that thigh back, you see how it's lined up with the other thigh, then you're going to begin to feel the stretch. So if you can manage to capture your foot, thigh goes back, knee goes back. Again, you can lean forward just a little bit. Staying with your breath. And inhale, come on up. And release that. Good, and jiggle your legs. Nicely done, everybody. Let's take a seat. So we usually begin our practice with the 6 movements of the spine, but we're going to mix it up a little bit today. And we're going to end our practice with the 6 movements. So you know it will feel a little bit different now that you're all warmed up. So on an inhale, we move into dog. The chest comes forward, head looks up, shoulders back. Exhaling, rounding your spine, pressing it back towards the seat of the chair. Chin tucks. Inhale, opening wide. Exhale, closing. Inhale, open wide. Exhale, close. And let's do that once more. Inhale, open really wide. Exhale, close up. Tuck your chin. And back to neutral spine. Good. And we'll go into our twist, starting with the right arm, stretching it out. Bringing that palm to your left knee, left hand to the side of your chair. Breathe in and lengthen. Exhaling and twisting. And you can add the left leg crossing over the right if you like. Let's do one more breath here. And then inhaling, guiding yourself back, uncrossing. Other side, left arm reaches out. Palm comes to the knee, other hand to the side of the chair. Nice deep breath, lengthening. Exhale and twisting. Once more, breathe in and lengthen. Exhale and twist. Right leg can come over the left if you like. Getting ready to release, breathing in, uncrossing if they're crossed, and coming around. And we'll finish up with thread the needle, so the right arm reaches out. Sliding along your left thigh, easing yourself bit by bit into the pose, soft neck, Left arm sweeping up if you choose. Nice rotation in the spine. And inhale, come on up. Other side. Left arm stretches out. Slide it through. Ease yourself in. And this time the right arm, if you like, can sweep up. And inhale, come on up. My goodness. Lots of interruptions today. Such is the cost of working from home. We're going to finish up with a forward fold. So making sure your feet are a little bit wider apart. Take a deep breath in and just slide your arms down. Allow your head to relax. Let the breath go. Hi, Suki. Thank you. And let's inhale now and roll up. Bring your feet under your knees. Allow your shoulders to relax. And we'll just take a few moments just to sit and notice what's changed because of the practice, whether it's in the body, in our energy, in our thoughts. Just notice. Always staying connected to the next breath. From the very beginning of the inhale to the very end of the exhale. Bringing your attention back to the breath as often as you need to. Allowing your breath to get a little bit deeper now and adding some final stretches. Oh, just moving in any way. Let this be your own dance. I'm just going to circle on my hips. It feels good. Opening my arms wide as if I could reach out to all of you, wrapping one arm around the other in a great big hug. Let's breathe in and open the arms again as wide as you can, and then wrap them in the opposite direction. Give them a squeeze. And then release, bringing hands to heart center. We'll close our practice on the mat so we can begin our practice off the mat called day-to-day life. We'll close with an Om. Deep breath in. Om. Om Shanti, peace. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be free from fear. And may each and every being everywhere know peace. Namaste. Jai Bhagwan.